Delinquency vintage curve. First, let's look at the idea for spot delinquency rate. We'll use a simple example here. Let's say this portfolio only has 10 accounts. Okay. Then in 12 months in year 2020, the table below shows the actual delinquency cycle of each account. You can see for most accounts, it's blank. That means for most accounts, they were current, not delinquent, as with most portfolios. We do have 3 accounts, right? So they show different delinquency behaviors in different months. Account ID 1002. Okay, so become cycle 1 in May. Then cycle 2 in June, cycle 3 in July. Seems the account missed 3 payments in a row. Then in August, there is payment to bring it back to cycle 2. And then in September, it became current. Okay, so this is one example. Account ID 1005. So it becomes cycle 1 and 2 in March and April. Then cash out with payments. Then become cycle 1 again in June. Then pay off. Then catch up with payment. Then became cycle 1 again in November. So this example that account, probably not very disciplined. So it's a habitual late payer, but the customer does have the financial capability, seems, in a year, so able to catch up with payments, 3 times. Then you have ID 1008 in October, became delinquent, cycle 1, 2, 3. Okay, so if we want to measure the 30-day plus, for example, late for at least 30 days, then for account 1002, then in May, it's still within 30 days. Then from June, it's considered to be 30-day plus. July, 30-day plus. August, 30-day plus. Then for account 1005, in March is within 30 days. In April is 30 plus. Okay, so in June it's within 30 days. November within 30 days. Okay, so for account 1008, only in November, December is considered as 30 plus, beyond 30 days. Okay. Then now we translate those delinquency cycle into 30 plus days delinquent indicator. Okay, so if in a given month it was beyond 30 days delinquent, so we have indicator 1. So you see that account 1002 have 3 indicators. Account 1005 has 1, and account 1008 has 2. Then at portfolio level, we need to aggregate these indicators, right? So you can see that first 3 months, nobody was ever 30 plus. And then in April, there's 1 account. In June, there's 1 account. July, August, 1 account. Then November, December is 1 account. Okay, so that means for those months, there's 1 account 30-day delinquent. The delinquency ratio is 1 divided by 10, that's 10%. Okay, so you can see that the 10% could become 0 in the following months, right? Because in that month, nobody plus delinquent. So that's the spot delinquency rate. It can fluctuate up and down. Okay, so then let's look at a different delinquency idea, error delinquency rate. So the definition is that we need to calculate the ratio of number of accounts that ever been 30 plus days delinquent. So the key difference from the spot delinquency rate is that if you are delinquent in the previous months, even though you are current, you are not delinquent anymore in this month, I still need to flag you as indicator 1 So it means you used to be 30 plus days delinquent. Okay, so that's the reason you see for account 1002, once it became 30 plus days delinquent in June, in all the subsequent months, the flag is on, right? So it's all value 1. Same thing for 1005. After April, so all the indicator is 1, regardless whether you are current or not. Okay, so then similarly, we aggregate all the counter together for each month. You can see that the value was 0 in the first 3 months, then 1 for April and May, then it became 2 in June, all the way to October, then November, December became 3. So then divided by the total number of accounts, divided by 10, you have the 0%, 10%, 20%, 30%. The important thing is that for average delinquency rate, is always increasing over time for a given portfolio. It doesn't come down. Okay, we can better see the difference in the next chart. So this chart shows the two lines corresponding to the 2 different calculation. The solid line is the spot 30 plus rate. You see it's 10%, then come down, 10%, comes down, then go back to 10%. But the dash line, average 30-day plus the delinquency rate, it doesn't come down, right? It always goes up, it goes up. So the average delinquency curve is often used to measure a portfolio with a very low occurrence for delinquency and loss, such as a mortgage. Okay, so otherwise it's too small to see. Okay. Also, based on unit, we can have the delinquency vintage curve as either a unit rate curve or dollar rate curve. So unit rate curve is calculated based on number of accounts delinquent versus the number of accounts in the portfolio, just as what we did in the example in the previous slides. Also, you can use the balance to calculate the dollar ratio, which means you use the balance associated with 30 days plus delinquent, for example, divided by the total balance of the portfolio. So that's a dollar delinquency rate. Also, by delinquency measurement, you can draw the curves based on 30 plus days delinquent, 60 plus days delinquent, 90 plus days delinquent. So when it's very early on, when delinquency just surfaces, so you can look at 30 plus days delinquent. Once the account has been open for 4 or 5 months, you can rely more on the 90 days, 90 plus days delinquent, right? Because once they're in 90 plus days, most likely 80% chance they will become charged off. So you want to pay attention more towards the accounts in the late stage. Okay.